This video is all about the addition and subtraction of negative numbers, and we will start by considering a number line itself. So here we are having the number line itself. Now before getting into the topic, there are mainly two things that you have to keep in mind. The first thing is regarding what happens when I'm having more than one sign coming together. For example, let's say I'm having a negative and a negative coming together. If a negative and a negative comes together, that's going to be a positive here. And if I'm having a positive and a negative comes together, that's going to be a negative. Or in a general way, I can say that if I'm having even number of negative signs, that's always going to be positive. And if I'm having a odd number of negative sign, then that's going to be negative. And we have to change the sign as positive or negative based upon the given condition itself. The second thing is nothing but analyzing the number line, or in a way, what happens in the number line when I'm adding or subtracting some numbers. For example, let's say I need to find out the answer for 7 plus 2. Okay. And I know that 7 plus 2 is equal to 9 itself. Everyone knows that, right? Exactly. Now, let's see what is happening in the number line when I'm adding 7 with 2. So, where am I standing? I'm standing on 7. I'm standing on 7 and I'm adding 2, right? So, whenever I'm adding some numbers, I always move to the right side. So, here I have to move 2 units to the right side. That will give me 1, 2. That's how I got the answer as 9. So whenever I'm adding in the number line, I always move towards the right side of the number line. Now what happens if I'm subtracting, let's say I'm subtracting 5 minus 3. So here where am I standing? I'm standing on 5. That is here. And from 5, I am moving towards the left side since I am subtracting here. And how many units am I moving? I am moving 3 units to the left side. So that is 1, 2 and 3, and I will be getting the answer as 2. So in the case of subtraction, I move towards the left side of the number line. So keep that idea in your mind. We will be using the exact same idea when it comes to the negative numbers. So let's directly get into the topic. So for better understanding, we would be dividing this entire video into 2 sections actually. In the first case, it's addition. That means some questions related with addition of some positive and negative numbers. So in the same case, we are having basically 4 combinations of that. So we will discuss one by one exactly. So the first one. So the first one is involving an addition of a positive number and a negative number. 3 plus negative 2. And we have just discussed that if I'm having a positive and a negative sign coming together, it should be 3 minus 2 because I'm having odd number of negative sign. And it's the direct answer. 3 minus 2 is equal to exactly 1 itself. We will go for one more example. Let's say I'm having 5 plus minus 7. And again here also it's 5 plus and minus. That will be 5 minus 7. So here I'm subtracting from a smaller number. And let's use the number line itself. So where am I standing? I'm standing on 5, right? So I am on 5 and I am subtracting here. So I should be moving towards the left side of the number line. Now how many units? 7 units. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And that will give me the answer as negative 2. So always keep that in mind. In subtraction, we move towards the left side. Moving on to the next section. On this question, we would be adding a negative number and a positive number. It's the exact opposite of what we did on the first one. So let's go for an example. Let's say negative 3 plus 5. That is equal to, and here also same number line. So where am I standing? I'm standing on negative 3, right? So from negative 3, I should be moving towards the right side because I'm adding there. So negative 3, I should be moving 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. and thus I'm getting the answer as 2 itself. One more example. Let's say I need to do -7 plus 4. That is equal to, here also same logic. I'm standing on -7 and I'm adding, so I should be moving towards the right side of 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in that case, I will be having -3 as the answer. So now moving on to the next one. On this one, we would be having a negative number added with another negative number. For example, let's say I need to add -3 plus -2. So here I'm having a positive and a negative. That will become exactly negative. That is equal to -3 minus 2. So now we will use the number line. So where am I standing? I'm standing on -3. So from -3, I am subtracting there. That means I have to move towards the left side. So 1, 2. And I will be getting the answer as -5. -5. One more question. -4 plus -3. That is equal to, positive and negative becomes negative. -4 minus 3 equal to, so here also I'm standing on -4 and I'm moving towards the left side since it is subtraction. How many units? 3 units. 1, 2, 3. And I will be getting -7 as the answer. So that's all about the questions involving addition of some positive and negative numbers. Now we will move on to the next one, that is subtraction of some of the negative and positive numbers. In the case of subtraction also, we are having exactly 3 types of problems. The first one is nothing but subtraction of a positive number and a negative number. Let's get into an example. Let's say I need to do 5 minus -3. So that is equal to, we have just seen that if I'm having a negative and a negative coming together, it's an even number of negative sign. That will become positive. That will give me 5 plus 3 equal to 8 as the answer. One more example. 7 minus -2, that equal to, negative and a negative becomes positive. So 7 plus 2 gives me 9 as the answer. Now moving on to the next set of questions. So in this one, we would be having the subtraction of a negative number and a positive number. For example, let's say -3 minus 7 equal to. So here, where am I standing? I'm standing on -3, that is here. And I'm subtracting, so I should be moving towards the left side. How many units? 7 units. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will give me -10 as the answer. One more example. -2 minus 5. That is equal to, I'm standing on -2 and I'm moving towards the left side 5 units since I'm subtracting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will give me -7 as the answer. Now moving on to the last one, that is questions involving a negative number and a negative number subtraction. For example, let's say -5 minus -3 equal to, we have seen that negative becomes positive. That is -5 plus 3. Now we will use a number line. I'm standing on -5, that is here. And from -5, I'm adding. And I should be moving towards the right side. How many units? 3 units. 1, 2, and 3. And that's how I'm going to get the answer as -2. One more example. -4 minus 9 equal to, negative becomes positive, so -4 plus 9. And here I'm standing on -4, and from -4 I'm moving towards the right side since it's addition of how many units? 9 units. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So the answer would be 5 there. So that's all about the combinations of addition and subtraction of negative numbers. If you have any doubt, please comment it below and tell me what you would like to see on my next video as well. See you next class. Take care. Bye.